Hey, what's going on everybody? Today I'm going to show you how to take photos with Swift and Xcode. So I've been kind of doing a series, so I have how to do a Snapchat menu. I've done how to put a camera onto the Snapchat menu. And today I'm going to go even further and show you how to take photos with that. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so here's my app. I have the screen right over here and I have the camera right over here. So as soon as I hit this camera screen, you can see that it takes the photo. Touch the screen again, it ends the photo, and I can just keep taking photos more and more, like so. Alright, so right now I have my project, so I actually have the live view going onto the preview layer, but I want to take this preview layer and grab a still image from what I'm seeing. So I'm going to head right into my view2.nib file, and right inside of here you can see that I have my nib file that I created, and we just want to add on an image view onto this scene. So let's just go ahead and click and drag an image view onto our scene so that it fills the whole scene. So right now it's not filling the whole scene, so just click and drag that all the way out to the corners. And then we're going to add some constraints to this. So right click, control click and drag from this UI image view over to the view right over here. And we're going to say center vertically, horizontally, bottom space, top space, trailing space, and leading space. And this will just give it that perfect UI image view look that we want. And also I'm just going to make this a bit bigger real quick. Now let's go ahead and open up our assistant editor, and we want to connect our image view that we just created over to our view2.swift. So let's go right down here, and I'm going to right click or control click and drag from this UI image view down to here. And I'm going to insert an outlet. I'm going to call this my temp image view. So this is basically my temporary image view. You can do things with what you want afterwards with this image that you have captured. When you take a photo in Snapchat, this is exactly what it does. It puts a view right over, the UI image view right over your scene, and that allows you to preview it and then send it off to your friends. So I'm going to say temporary image view and connect. And I'm going to create a function that says we did press take photo. So I'm going to say func did press take photo. So we did take photo, so we're going to say func did press take photo, and then open parentheses, close parentheses, open curly bracket, enter close curly bracket. And then right inside of here we can say if let the video connection equal, and this will be a still image output. So we're going to grab this variable that we created earlier. Then we're going to say dot connect connection with media type, and we're going to connect it with the media type of AV media type and then video. So this is going to be a video that we are grabbing it from. Open curly bracket, enter close curly bracket. And I'm actually going to go ahead and close up the assistant editor so we can see things a bit better. So go ahead and go over to the view2.swift, and now you should get a better view of what's going on. So we have this function that we created, did press take photo. So as soon as this is pressed, we want to call this function, and then we could say if let video connection equals still image output dot connection with media type AV media type video. So essentially we are grabbing a still image from the video that's going on our scene right now. Now let's go down here. We're going to say video connection.video orientation will be equal to an AV capture video orientation.portrait. So essentially this is the Snapchat portrait view that we are going to use. Then we're going to say still image output.capture still image asynchronous from connection. So we're grabbing a still image from our live video feed that's going on. So let's go ahead and just type in video connection in this first part. Now for the completion handler, you can see that it's waiting for a CM sample buffer. So we want to create a variable there and an error. So let's just go ahead and let's say open curly bracket, enter close curly bracket. And inside of this, we're going to say open parentheses, close parentheses, type in sample buffer like so, and then comma error like so. So now we have our variables that we created off of what it was expecting. Then we're going to say in. Now inside of this, we captured this image data, so we're going to apply this image data into something that's actually visible to us. So we're going to say if our sample buffer is not equal to nil, meaning that we have a sample buffer. If you want to read more about what a sample buffer is, you can read into it. I'm not going to explain too much about it. So I'm going to say open curly bracket, enter close curly bracket. So if we have a sample buffer, then we want to do this. We can say var image data will be equal to, and we're going to make this equal to an AV capture still image output .jpeg still image NS data representation, and inside of this we're going to put in sample buffer like so. So we're grabbing from this sample buffer that we created right here, and we're applying this into a JPEG. Now let's go down here and we're going to say var data provider will be equal to, and we're going to make this equal to a CG data provider create with CF data. And the CF data we're going to use is the image data that we just created. So we created some CF data, we're applying that to our data provider. So now we're going to interpret this into something that a UI image can interpret. So let's go right down here. We're going to say var CG image ref will be equal to, and we're going to make this equal to our CG image create with JPEG data provider. So the source of our CG data is going to be our data provider. Decode, we're going to set this equal to nil. Our bool, we're going to set this to true. For the color rendering, we're going to set this equal to KCG rendering intent default. Now, of course, you can do saturation, you can do all these other things, but I'm going to set mine equal to default, like so. Now let's go ahead and create our image. So we're going to say var image will be equal to, and we're going to set this equal to a UI image, open parentheses, and inside of this we have our CG image, our scale, and our orientation, like so. So let's go ahead and just double click or tab all that in, and we're going to set our CG image equal to our CG image reference that we created. Now go down here to our scale, we're going to make this equal to 1.0, so we want the scale to be exact. And then orientation, we're going to make this UI image orientation dot right, like so. And now we have our whole image working. Now this is the image that, say if I was using Snapchat, I would send this image off to a friend or whatnot. But I only have this UI image view that I have, so I'm going to set that equal to the UI image view. So let's go down here and I'm going to say temporary image view dot image will be equal to, and we're going to set this equal to the image that we just created. Now down here we're also going to say temporary image view dot hidden, and we're going to set this equal to false, meaning as soon as this photo is taken, we want this temporary image view to not be hidden anymore. We want it to be visible to the person using it. And also it's waiting for a self, so we can say self dot temporary image view and self dot temporary image view, like so. Now before we call this function did press take photo, we want to deal with a few other things first. So in this case I'm using touches began, but if you have a button that say on the first time you press it you want the image to be taken, but on the second time that you press it you want your image to disappear and you want to try taking a different photo. So in this sense I'm doing this with the touches began. You can of course apply this to a button or whatever you want, but in this case we want to say function did press take another. So if they do say, okay, we want to take another photo, then we want our image view to be hidden and for everything to go back to normal and everything to switch on and off in that sense. So we can say func did press take another, open parentheses, close parentheses, open curly bracket, enter, close curly bracket. And inside of this, we want to create a true or false statement. So if they have taken the photo, then we want it to disappear. And if they haven't, then we want to take the photo. So we want to create a variable first, and we're going to say var did take photo will be equal to a Boolean value, like so, open parentheses, close parentheses. Now inside of did press take another, we're going to say if did take photo is equal to true. So if they have taken a photo, then we want to say this. Then after that if statement, we just can say else, open curly bracket, enter, close curly bracket. So inside of the first if statement, we can say temporary image view dot hidden, and we're going to make this equal to true. So we're going to set the image view to hidden if they have already taken the photo and they press the button again. Now we can go down here and we can say did take photo, and we're going to set this equal to false now. Now in this else statement that we created, we're going to say capture session dot start running. So we want this capture session to start running. Then we can say did take photo will be equal to true. And then we're also going to say did press take photo. So we're calling this function right up here. So we're going to take a photo now. And now if we go down here, we're going to say touches began, and inside of this we're just going to type in did press take another, as this is going to control everything. Now let's go ahead and build and run this on my iPod, and we should get everything to work. Alright, so here's my app. I have the screen right over here and I have the camera right over here. So as soon as I hit this camera screen, you can see that it takes the photo. Touch the screen again, it ends the photo, and I can just keep taking photos more and more, like so. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more tutorials like this from me in the future, be sure to subscribe. Also, a video will be coming up soon on how to do video, but it is a bit more complicated and I'm just figuring it out right now. So subscribe for that. Anyway, I will see you in the next one.